What's that, Skip? Seano's talking about Supercoach again. Let's go. G'day crew, it's Seano again, and I'm back with some more Supercoach content. Today we're going to be doing our round 11 review video, and it's going to be a brutal one. So let's get right into it. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, one of our worst scores so far this season. Probably our worst score, not in the buy rounds. 2,156. It was literally a train wreck. Everything that could go wrong went wrong. So that made our round 11 rank of 69,390. Wow, what a massive difference from last week, right, crew? Anyway, so that takes us. We were in the top 1% last week. We've dropped back to the top 3%. Season rank 5,158, and that's 2,798. Pretty close to 3,000 places less than what we were last week. So, yes, an absolute disaster this week. So let's go and have a look at the train wreck. Oh, also, of course, we talked about how I'm slightly shifting my focus to winning my leagues, as opposed to, I know now we're not going to win the 50k, so I'd still like to get the highest rank possible. But at the same time, I really want to win my league, which is quite important to me. And my league opponent beat me, even though I was predicted to beat him by 300 points. Every move that he made, it turned out to be gold. And every player that I had turned out to be, well, something brown that certainly doesn't look like gold. So... yeah, unfortunately, he just picked... he even had the 3 injuries. He had all 3 of the injuries. He traded all 3 players, and he beat me by about 50 points. Unbelievable. Anyway, let's get into the team. And yes, it's going to be a rough view, my friends. Okay, let's go through. So Zorko did okay. 118, we can't ask for much more than him. Whitfield 82, obviously we would like a little bit more out of him. Baileydale 80, which I kind of expected him to have a bit of a down round this round. The Geelong Stadium is not the best for him, but he's got a good run coming up, so hopefully he can get back to that form that he had last week, where he got like 50 possessions. Matt Roberts started off the game really well. Then, like a lot of the Sydney team, kind of died out the second half, but we'll take the 90. Zach Reed, 87, was taken off was reported as a hamstring injury awareness. So the coach said that he's not even sure if it's an injury. So we're really hoping that that's just like a precautionary thing they took him off for, and that he's going to play this week. Now, our young friend trainer, we decided to keep him. And what happens? The coach plays him as a forward. Yes, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. They had this list come out the other week of some of the worst kicks in the AFL, and he was actually up on the list. And do you really want that person playing forward? But no, the coach chucked him forward. Great. So there's a 28 in the team, and I thought that was going to be our lowest score. Yes, I thought that was going to be our lowest score. Carroll got a 47. That's actually reasonable for him. I'll take it. And Sard didn't play, but apparently did a hammy also in the VFL. So great. There's another player that won't be coming back. As you can see, we have Bontempelli in my team. We didn't have Bontempelli last week. So this is the trade that we did. We went McRae to Bontempelli and got the rookie. And got a rookie as well. I know he's out this week, but basically I just wanted him, and I didn't think he would drop that much money. And I certainly didn't think he'd get 107 score. So he's going to go down 25k, and he's still got a break even of 136. So everyone can thank me who wanted Bontempelli, because obviously me getting him in made him drop that low score, which is going to make him achievable for you guys. I actually thought he was going to go down more money than that, but he can certainly get the 137. We all want him. He's in the team now, but I don't know. I think I've I should have saved that money. That I don't have much money and we don't have much cash gen, so it might hurt my team in the long run, but he is in the team. It looks nice with him there, right? Brayshaw 96, a little bit down. They tagged both Brayshaw and Sarong. I don't know, the teams haven't obviously got the message yet. Tag Sarong for the full game, win the game. Tag Brayshaw, they lose the game. Now I'm talking about Fremantle. You tag Sarong, Fremantle loses. Tag Brayshaw, it doesn't make a difference. They still win. So, maybe the clubs should have a look at the previous games and get a better plan. Sinclair, 143. Very nice. Very well done. Dacos, 107. We'll take it. Sheasel, we hate this new role. 63. And worst thing is we don't really have the trades or to do anything about it. We're pretty much just going to have to keep him. Marriage 49, which the Eagles played okay for the first half before they got slaughtered in the second half. But when, as usual, if the Eagles have a reasonably decent game, not that it looked like that by the end scores, but Marriage is not going to have a great score. Again, you're just going to have to keep him. I don't think there's anything we can do about it. Ashcroft, 95. Very nice. We were going to trade him out for Bontempelli, but we ended up trading out Elijah Hewitt, which in a way hurts my team, not because of Hewitt's score, but because of his flexibility. So I kind of hurt my team a little bit coming into buys. Actually hurt him a lot. Now, you also think, I also didn't have Tom Gross in my team. So here's what happened. Here's how Seano gets an 8 on his field. On Sunday, we look at the team sheets. Tom Gross is not only named in the Eagles lineup, he's named on the field, in the centre. And we're like, here we go. He's going to get a full shot of the game in the centre. We saw him score those 40 points in a quarter a few weeks ago. He's actually got the potential to get an 80 or a 90. Just give him a go. What happens? No. He's played as a small forward in the pocket and doesn't touch the ball and then gets subbed off in the third quarter for a grand score of 8, which makes it so I have to take the train as 28. That was an absolute disaster. Not only that, I used the boost to get him. I was afraid with Simpson already being injured that I wouldn't have enough cash gen, and I thought getting him in would provide a rookie that I could play on the field and he would get some cash gen. And that was just a huge mistake, and it cost me very much dearly, considering I put him on the field over Lindsay, who then proceeded to get an 80. So I dropped about 50 points just by that and a trade and used my last boost. So to say I'm unhappy about that is a total understatement. Lindsay punished me for putting him on the bench, so everyone out there can thank me for that as well. I apologise, Lindsay. I put you on the bench and you punished me. Kako got his usual 44. Hutswaite, no sign of him. Gorn, 153. Thank you. Wish I had him as his captain. If I had him as my captain, I might have actually won my league match, but I was a bit afraid, so I had it on Sherry with the 126, which is fine. That's very reasonable for your captain score, especially after Bont failed. I did have the Gorn-Sherry combo, and then I swapped it to Bont at the last moment, so I probably would have scored more as well if I didn't have the didn't do the Bont trade that way as well. Smith, 118, that's fine. Petrarca, 125, very nice. Welcome back, Petrarca. Warner, gee, was looking a bit... He was the opposite of most of the others in the team. He had a very quiet first half, and then he kind of stepped it up. I think he was only on about 35 points at half time, and then he kind of managed to actually get in the game a little bit to get an 84, but still not what we want out of him. Rankedy, 87, also a bit the same. Looked very quiet early and kind of came back later when the Crows started to pile it on against the Eagles. Daniel's back in that back row with the 97, that's nice. Cleary, 40. Sims, who's the one we traded in to get Bontempelli, at least got a 44. There wasn't much other option, to be honest, so at the time. And of course, my number one pick of the week, Cooper Simpson for the trade-in, gets a 0. So, injured, looks like a fairly bad injury too, the coach said, a shoulder injury. What do they call it? An AC joint, I think is what they said. And it's a 0, and he's probably going to be out for some time. As you can see from the bottom of the picture underneath me down here, Simpson is injured. I thought that was justified, that picture. And it was either that or a big stinking pile of you-know-what to show what I think of my team this week. And Rowan Marshall, 55, down, but he had a very tough opponent against Wits. I'm sure he'll bounce back. He likes to bully the opponents that aren't really tough opponents, so hopefully he'll get a few more of those and in the coming weeks. So that's pretty rough crew. If we were going to go for a king and a joker of the team this week, geez, I tell you what, before Sunday, there was going to be no king, and I declared that they were all going to be jokers. They were all going to be sent to the bin. But who am I going to give the king to this week? I mean, I guess I'm going to give it to. I mean, we could go Sinclair, but I'm going to give it to Gawn. The old man steps up again and just smashed out another 150. I mean, it's hard to go past him, right? He just keeps delivering. Probably one of my best picks pre-season. And yeah, he's just... he could, right now he is the best ruckman at averaging a 132. And he still might be at the end of the season. I wouldn't be surprised if Sherry overtakes him. But, he is still killing it. So the joker of the team... I don't know. It's hard to give it to Gross because it's like really the coach's fault that he was... really the coach's fault. The same with Trainer. I'd like to give it to Trainer, but it's kind of the coach's fault. Let's try and find somebody else who... Maybe let's go... We'll give it to Marriage. He's been so good. And he just kind of let us down this week with a 50. The week we really need him to come and score 140 to give me a little bit higher score, 110, he really let us down and only got a 50. So a little bit harsh, I think. Like I said, there are some other players who could probably get it. Yeah, I'm looking at you and I'm looking at you. But I really think I'd like to give the joker to the coaches. All their screwing around and they're substituting and they're swapping midfielders into the forward lines. Like, what the hell are they doing? Like, pull your finger out, coaches. Do better. All right. So this week in the way of how are we going to set up? Should we do vice captain and captain choices this week? Let me have a quick look here. Where are the game orders? And then we'll have a quick talk about trades. So I'm thinking that first game's Brizzy and Essendon, and then Collingwood and Hawthorn. And then what do we got? Then we got Gold Coast and Fremantle. So I'm thinking either maybe Zorko or Brayshaw as a vice captain. Zorko at home at the Gabba on a Thursday night. Or Brayshaw. Maybe we'll just go Brayshaw for the moment. When we don't pick him, he punishes us. And who, I guess we're not going to go past Gawn. Gawn versus Marshall. We're not going to trade Gawn. That'd be crazy. We will make him our captain. I think that for our team, that is the best. We'll go through more about what's best for the community in our other videos, probably in the trade video or our chat videos about what I think for other players. But for my team, I think that's probably the best choice, either Zorko into Gawn or Brayshaw into Gawn. And then to get the team set up, how are we going to do with the buys this week? So if we go to buys, we got the players missing. So there's not much we can do here. They're both missing, so we're going to be short one in the back line. Here we'll take Bont off and we'll put Lindsay on. And we'll take Sheasel off and we'll put Kako on. This is just can stay like this. I mean, I guess we can do that just in case by some miracle Boyd plays. That's probably not going to be good for Marshall if that happens. And over here, Daniel for Sims, who honestly that 44 is what I expect from him. He's actually looked like he was doing okay. He had like 20 in the first quarter, but then kind of tapered off. But he's basically just a body. He was just a rookie. He was the only rookie that I could see that was going to play, that I could afford, that when I dropped him down, it got me enough to get Bont. And I probably could have got... My other option instead of doing the trade to get Bont was to get Bolton and Rao. And Bolton didn't live up to everyone's expectations this week, was down a little bit. And Rao did okay, I believe. But I think the score that I got between Bont and the player I had on field was still more than what I would have got from Rao and the other, and Rao and Bolton was as much as Bont and the rookie that I had on the field. So it was Ashcroft, because I was going to trade out Ashcroft, but I didn't end up doing it. So the two of them still made more, so that works out. So I'm predicted, what am I predicted to get? 2,000. That's not great, but you know, and we're not going to do much in the way of trades this week, I don't think. The only thing we could do is we need to get a bit of money. So even though we wasted a little bit of money to get Gross in the team, he actually cost us more than the rookie that we got off, and he cost us some flexibility in our team, which coming up to the buys was probably not smart. So we kind of blew our team up a little bit with that Gross move. We got rid of our last boost, only down to 16 trades, which is not enough, and we cost ourselves about 10k to do it. So a really rough week. The only thing I can think of this week is getting a rookie to try and get some money. Now, Trainer, if he's going to play forward again, he just lost 20k last week. That's why I'm so furious. I kept him thinking he was going to have that back roll and he might lose a few thousand, but not too much. 20k he lost, and then this week it's 78. If he plays forward again, he might lose another 20k. If he gets a score like this, he might even lose more. So I kind of think we don't really want to get rid of a player who's playing, but do we really want to lose the 20 grand? We really need that 20 grand, especially because we spent up for the Bont. So, you know, if we have a look, there's only one. I don't know. Maybe you guys can tell me down there in the comments. Don't forget to, while we're speaking about it, give me that thumbs up. And, you know, it's been a sad week for Seano, so make him happy and give him a thumbs up. And subscribe and leave a comment. And that way, hopefully, I'll be a little bit happier. I won't be so grumpy. I mean, it is a game after all, right? But we do take it seriously, and we're not happy when we don't do well. We like to do well. We love it when we open up the team and see that we've gone up places, or you know, got a nice review to do. It's a pretty hard review this week, but I'm not one of these guys that's going to jump off the bandwagon. We're still going to do our reviews and our videos every week, even if my team goes a bit south, which I think it might. We're still going to keep doing, and hopefully I can help the community out a little bit. If you have a look down here, you can see McAuliffe. I did recommend McAuliffe last week, and what did he do? He did quite well, right? I said I thought he was a sneaky jump on. Yeah, 90, 90, 50, yeah. And he went up. So you would have made 40k if you had done what I said. As the usual, do what Seano says, not what Seano does. So the only real trade-in I can see this week from a rookie is this guy, Gray from Richmond. Now, I don't expect much from him, really. I really don't expect much, but he's a live human. I think he's human. Well, he's a live human, and he's playing. I honestly think if he gets a 40, you're probably going to be pretty happy. But he had a good score this week. I've had him in my other team for a few weeks, but he has got a negative break even of 52, which means potentially he can make us some money. 40, 82. I really think the 40 is probably more about what you're going to expect from him. I think the 82 was a glitch in the matrix, but maybe he's the answer to make us some money. And then at least we've got 179k going into next week. Now, we're not getting any players off the field for the buy round, or we're not actually, you know, I could try and take off one of these other non-playing rookies to get him, but that means we've got Trainer still in the field who could lose another 20k. So it does worry me a little bit for when we come out of the buys. I'm definitely going to have a plan. We are definitely 1 to 2 premiums behind everybody else, so I'm not going to be surprised if we start dropping in the ranks. Hopefully not as much as we dropped this week, but I wouldn't even be surprised if in the next few weeks, coming out of the buys is going to be the problem. I think we'll do okay in the buys. We'll hold our own. We'll stay around this rank that we're at. Coming out of the buys, I think we're going to drop off a little bit, and the hopeful of finishing the top 1,000 might be closer to, we might have to start hoping we're going to finish in the top 10,000.
Hopefully
Zach Reed plays this week. If he doesn't, how many players does that leave us with then? So we've got 5 playing in the back line. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So we'll have 21 players on field in the best 18, which is fine, which is enough to, we're not struggling to get 18 players, which is kind of a good thing that there's a maximum of 6 teams on each bye this year. Makes it, some years in the past you really struggled to get 18 players on the field. I'm not going to have that problem this year. I'm just going to have the problem of, is my score going to be good enough? Obviously, by getting the Bont, I've got one more out on this round, but then my feeling was I've got him now, and then I'm not going to have to worry about getting him next week or the week after. I'm kind of interested. I thought he was going to drop more money, but how much money did he drop last round? I thought he was only about... so he only went down... he went down 22k. Yep. So I paid $665 for him. He went down 22k. And this week, he'd probably hold... he has to... If he gets 128, he goes down 3,000. So, this being one of his lowest scores... Besides the 99 is his second lowest score, so I wouldn't be surprised for a bit of a bounce back last week. He was on track for a very decent score, but the last quarter, I saw it. Just every time he was near a contest, the ball just bounced the other way. It wasn't that he played bad or anything. It's just the ball just didn't go his direction. Every time he ran towards the ball, either somebody else grabbed it or it bounced or an opposition got it. He just unfortunately couldn't get his hands on the ball in that last quarter. And the same bit goes for Sherry as well. Sherry was on 100 at half time. For the entire third quarter, it went from like 98 to 100, back to 98, back to 100. It was like watching a tennis match and he scored 98, 100, 98, 100. So he made 0 points in the third quarter, and then he got a 26 in the last quarter. So he was looking like he was going to get a 200. I was like, woohoo, I'm going to get a 200 captain score and it's going to save my week. Yeah, it didn't happen. So anyway, that's the trade, I think. That's the only rookie I can see. As for the DPP players, I had a quick look. DPPs have been released, the new DPPs, dual position players. And the only one I can see which is relevant is Connor Rosie. I had a look. I can't see anybody else that is relevant. My opponent in my league brought in Nick Martin this week for 163, and I think he brought in Jordan Dawson too. I was absolutely ropeable. Luke Jackson, if you went him, nicely done. I like it. I'm still afraid of Darcy coming back, but oh my God, he's so good. He's so good. I'm tempted. He's going up now. How much is his? 42. Even if Darcy doesn't play, he's always going to be untouchable. Horn Francis hopefully comes back and drops some money. Yeah, I couldn't see anybody here, crew. I don't know. Have you noticed anybody else that is relevant? I don't know anybody else that's relevant here that's got the new DPP. So, Connor Rosie is the only really one, right? The only one that I'm targeting. You guys let me know if you're targeting anyone. 530, break even of 130. He still might come down and go around. He's stayed about that price all season. Yep, he's gone up 1,000 over the whole season. So he's still very affordable, and he's still one that we probably. I think if we would take this off. If we go into defenders, where is he? Overall, he is in 6th place. What about for the last 5 rounds? Oh no, last 3 round average. So he's just outside the top 6. So he's not actually in the top 6 as defenders go for the last 3 to 5 rounds. And overall, he's in 8th. He's in 8th. So does that make him a top 6 defender? Or is he actually a top 8 defender? I'm not too sure about that. I would like him, but I think we've got other problems. Obviously, we've got too many rookies on the field. We're going to get through the buys. We're going to try and make some money. I think the other big thing is there's no money to be made, and we've only got, if we do one trade this week, we've got 15 trades. That's not going to be enough to get our team to full premium without pretty much giving up a chance to win my league. If you want to win your league, you need a few trades at the end when you come through to the finals time to account for injuries and stuff. And if we tried to get, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, these guys will be on, but there's like 4 rookies I've got that I need to get off, and then there's a couple of semi-rookies like the Marriages and the Reeds and stuff or the Roberts people, who I'd like to get rid of, but I probably won't be able to. So it could be a little bit rough. So bit of a hard week for me, crew. But Seano's usually pretty happy anyway. Seano has a good life, so yes, Supercoach, he likes to do well, but you can't do well every week, and if you did, well, you'd be winning the 50k. So we're going to hopefully have a bounce back. We're going to get through these buys. Like I said, I think we'll hold our rank through the buys, or not drop too much. After the buys, I'm a bit worried that we're really going to get punished by these people who have full premium teams when I don't. But we'll see what happens. We'll see if that happens when it comes around, and we'll see if there's anything we can do to stop that before we get there. I hope everybody really enjoyed the video. If you did, please subscribe, hit that like button, and leave me a comment down below, even if it's to laugh at me and say, look at that pathetic score, Seano, or tell me how good you did and rub my nose in it. That would be nice. So thanks so much for watching, everybody. Have an awesome day, and I will talk to you all soon. See you later. Take it away, Skip.